Hello, honeys. It's Kamara with Rooted Futures. How are you? Well, we have a brand new moon, brand new moon coming up in a few days. And know that this is timeless, though. So if you are watching this around another new moon, just take it as information for that new moon. But in this new moon, it's connected to the 8/8 portal, and I really feel like there's powerful new beginnings that are happening for many of us in the collective. So I wanted to do a pick a card reading, and this reading is going to be very unique because we are asking for our plant medicine guides to give us messages that we need to know for this new moon, especially around creating new beginnings for ourselves. So let's go to your choices. So group number 1 is going to be messages from our cannabis plant medicine guide. These are some sea salted caramel bites. Oh my goodness, they're very potent. And please know that everything that I'm using in this video is legal where I live, but this is not an endorsement to use any of these products. They are just here to represent the different characteristics of the plant medicines. So we have the plant medicine cannabis for group number 1. Group number 2 is going to be the plant medicine of hyssop blessing spray, group number 2. Group number 3 will be the ayahuasca vine tincture. This is just the vine, so it doesn't have DMT. It is just a tincture made from the vine, not from a combination that would make the traditional brew that a lot of people use. This is just the vine. And group number 4 will be this beautiful mushroom crystal that's kind of made in the likeness of psilocybin. It's just the likeness. So take a moment, the timestamps will be below, and focus on which plant medicine you want to hear wisdom from. And know that this is not an endorsement to use any of these plant medicines, and please do your research. And this is an 18+ reading, so I'm noting that in the title. And yeah, this is what new moon messages do our plant medicine guides have for us. You don't even have to take it. You could just listen to their energetic reading right here. Okay, take care. Thanks so much for following me here, you all. I've really been appreciating all the support. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and click that bell so that you know when I upload new videos. Take care, honeys. Hello, honeys. If you chose group number 1 and this beautiful cannabis container of sea salted caramel bites that are infused with cannabis, this is your reading and your message from the plant medicine of cannabis. So let's start with some of the oracle cards, and then we'll get to a live reading. So we have the sentient nest. The sentient nest. Number 30. And then we have cranberries. Cranberries. That's number 10. It says devour the truth and let it sink into the depths of all that came before and all that will come after. We have perception. And lastly, we have stagnant waters, feeling stuck, a call for shift, flow, and change. So let me just make sure these are all kind of straight here so that you can see them. So group number 1, the plant medicine of cannabis wants you to consider in your new beginning of this new moon energy your ecosystem. your current ecosystem, personal ecosystem, because the sentientness is speaking to the environment around you. What is informing your life? What is giving you the information that you need to stay vibrant, to stay alive, even survive? I'm hearing the word survival in your environment. For some of you, there may be an issue around survival. You may have worries around how you are going to survive. And I'm looking at this right now with the cranberries. There's something about, because if you look here, there's water being poured. There's water, like tears coming down here. There's stagnant water. This new beginning for you, group number 1, I have a feeling is around emotional health. For some of you, you may be, and I'm sorry if this is true, you may have been dealing with a lot of mental health issues lately. They don't have to be severe, but maybe some of you have been dealing with depression. Some of you have been dealing maybe with some sadness. Either way, this may have, the spirit of cannabis is wanting you to really take into consideration something in your environment. There's a truth of who you are, as it's being shown in this cranberry card, which is very interesting. I'm trying to bring it up so you could see it here. If you look, you're going to see in this card, I'm sorry, I'm going out of, you see there's mushrooms here. Very interesting. Like the different plant medicines are coming in to help with this reading. There's the apple. There's this particular kind of harvest. And there's this bird at the top of this being's head. I think birds symbolize liberation, freedom. And the snake is symbolizing this transformation that's coming into your life, group number 1. I think you're looking at, how do you hold your emotions? How is it that you are being supported even emotionally in your environment? A lot of times we think of healing, and the best way we want to heal, maybe even when you go to a therapist, they're going to say, focus on yourself, focus on your own thoughts. But there is something to say about a person's environment. And it's not to say that you should externalize your problems, but sometimes your environment, many times, can influence how you experience the world. Especially if you live somewhere where maybe because of the way you look, maybe because of the way that you identify, there is a lot of hostility directed towards you in your environment. And that can cause undue stress. That can cause for someone to be living in anxiety all the time. So the spirit of cannabis, especially, and I'm going to say this is just for a few of you, if you have been really hitting the cannabis lately, like you've been using it to help you with your anxiety, this spirit of this plant medicine is saying it's time to maybe stop looking at escaping, but looking at your environment. It's just for a few of you, if you do use cannabis. It's a highly protective plant. When you take cannabis, it's literally, you're saying you're wanting to be in the energy of the spirit of this plant is to protect you, to take you away from your stresses, to take you away from your anxiety. But in that protective energy of the plant, as with any medicine, if you overuse it, if you become dependent on it, you will never really have true clarity on the issue that is driving you towards using this medicine. And the spirit of this medicine is saying, look to your environment. What is happening for you? What is the because there's a lot of perception here. And I don't know if that's perceptions of others, group number one, or your own perception. And again, you see this nautilus here. It can be like cycles going around in your mind, incessant thoughts about who supports you, who you can trust, who do you like, who likes you. There seems to be a lot of internal thinking here that ultimately leaves you stagnant, without flow, being able to make changes, feeling stuck. And this stagnant water, it's kind of pointing to me, group number one, that especially, and I keep coming back to this, especially if you are utilizing the spirit of cannabis a lot right now, that medicine is calling for you to take a break and to really start to look and get clarity around who and what is in your environment. Some of you would really benefit from going to a body of water. If you live near the ocean, if you live near a lake, you may find, because I see a number of blues here, you may find some reprieve around water, nature, bodies of water, a lake, a pond. There's something even here about the fall. There's something about that time period. Let's see what the tarot has to say. You have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. Five of Sticks. Upright. I'm seeing for someone that you may be in an experience right now. This could, we'll ask some more about spirit, but you know, group number one, are you dealing with a group of people who are gossiping? I'm being shown that it's putting you, it's really messing with your emotions, and I think that that's the intent, to put you in an upside down emotional state, to make you feel stagnant, because that Knight of Wands, usually upright, is moving quickly, on the move, but in reverse it's like you're stagnant. And that Son of Baskets, which is the Knight of Cups, it's like not being able to deal with your emotions. Like emotionally you may not be as grounded as you usually are. Let's ask Spirit more about this Five of Sticks. There's a group of people, I don't know if this is at work, school, you take it where it resonates, because we're reading for a lot of people. Say more, Spirit, about this Five of Sticks. Eight of Coins in reverse. This is, for many of you, it might have to do with work. Some people at work, maybe there's an argument, there's people talking. Father of Coins. This is someone who is like emotionally unavailable, could be a male figure. It's interesting, like most of the knights are out here. You have Knight of Swords. This speaks to me of someone who is an authority figure, possibly at work, who is more in a Knight of Swords kind of energy. This is somebody who can be kind of brash, can be very direct, because this person is in a King of Pentacles kind of upside down, this could be someone who's very, what I want to say, they can be, this kind of energy when it's in reverse, King of Pentacles, is someone who doesn't have a lot of respect for people, someone who utilizes money to control people, someone, especially next to the Son of Knives, which is the Knight of Swords. This is someone who can come in and be very impulsive, fly off at the handle. They don't really have good control over themselves. This is a king that's very emotionally and intellectually immature. Could be someone who, they're in this management position, but they're not the right fit for this. They come off as a Knight of Swords when they're really in a position to be a King of Pentacles. This is someone who doesn't have proper leadership. And I'm seeing right here, group number one, that you might be dealing with the outcome of this person. Say more, Spirit. Seven of Sticks. Yeah, you're having to defend yourself with this person. And I'm sorry if this is intuitively coming through. Some of you may be dealing with some kind of harassment from this person. And it's causing a lot of talk behind closed doors, behind office doors, rather. And it's putting you in a state of like, what do you need to do? What is it that you need to do, group number one? Because this person's behavior is not only creating a lot of stress for you, but it's actually influencing your work environment. Your work environment, which is what the Spirit of Cannabis was talking to you about, your work environment is being impacted by this person. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Queen of Cups here in reverse. It's like putting you in a state of stress. You're misaligned emotionally. You're not able to be your normal, more emotionally grounded self because of this environment. And you're wondering about, maybe you're wondering about job security right now. Are you going to be able to you're trying to save and hang on because you're so unsure of your job security at this moment. Yeah. You've got the Three of Swords here. It could point to a situation where you're worried about being betrayed. You're worried about like what is going to happen, not only to your career, but to, your reputation even. Everything feels in reverse here. You've got the Queen of Swords. It's I think what the Spirit of Cannabis is advising is that you become upright in this Queen of Swords energy. You need to be more decisive in this moment. You need to study, quite literally study what would be the best move for you to make. You may have to go talk to someone outside of your company, outside of your organization, that can give you legal advice. You may have to start documenting things. There's something about this Queen of Swords energy needing to be upright for you. You starting to make some decisive actions to begin to build a case for yourself, group number one. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting here because I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. We're still just kind of looking at what the energy is here. There's somebody that you're just really thinking about, you need to get out of this situation, because somebody's thinking, this is not worth my time. You may be even starting to look at other options, or this is what the Spirit of Cannabis is saying to you. It's time to look at other options. It's time for you to, first of all, I'm hearing even directly from that spirit, the world is bigger. The world is larger. There are billions of people in the world. You don't have to be stuck in this situation. It's kind of funny because I feel like this figure here is wearing a cloak of cannabis. It's probably not, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's this cloak of this figure with a big afro looking out over into the mountains and to the sea. I mean, this could even remind me of somebody in Jamaica. I don't know why. It's like giving me that feeling of like the spirit of cannabis saying there's a whole world out there. You don't have to be stuck with abusive people, disrespectful people, situations that keep you stressed. In this way, I really do feel like you're receiving the protection of the spirit, because it's saying, hey, if you know, you don't have to be in this place. Like, you don't have to, what I want to say, numb yourself all the time. You know, I'm not saying that everyone who uses cannabis is numbed out, but I'm just saying, like, this is about, you can live life and not have to be this stressed out where you're self-medicating all the time. Now, doesn't have to be that you're using cannabis to self-medicate. You could be drinking, you could be watching TV, you could be eating, you know, like whatever you're doing, the spirit of this plant is saying there are other options for you. Let's look at what else the spirit of cannabis wants to say. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. The Knight of Cups again. That Queen of Pentacles is showing up again, and so is the Knight of Cups. This is staying in this situation could start to reverse your financial situation, meaning in a negative way. It could have a very negative impact. Staying around a situation like this, what it begins to do is it begins to play with your emotions. That Knight of Cups, it's like you're not sure if you can trust yourself after a while. And it puts you in a place of having to juggle just being present. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get so used to numbing yourself out that it's hard to come back into presence. It's hard to be back in be in an environment in a way that you feel like you're thriving again. So I mean, really, literally, I think you're being warned here too to not stay too long in this kind of situation. Two of Wands. I'm being told to take it upright, because that's what you need to see. There's a world out there that you are not a prisoner of this situation, but it is impacting, remember, your environment. And it has you working hard. It has you overwhelmed. It has you in spirit. I think that we get that point. Let's go back to this deck for a minute, because I really do think you need some encouragement now, like a spiritual advice at this point, or cosmic advice. Birth mysteries. What are you being called to create? I think for many of you, Spirit is saying here that you can create your reality. You can create where you want to be. You can create the kind of environment that you live in. This card is very powerful when it talks about that ecosystem, and you have the power to create the ecosystem you need. It's a rebirthing process, right? That kind of transformation that you're getting ready to go into, it's a rebirthing process. And in that process, you are going to become brand new again. You're going to feel yourself winning at life again, but you've got to get rid of the trash. You've got to take out the trash. You've got to emancipate yourself from people and situations that have either never worked for you, just more recently don't work for you, whatever the case is. Yeah. You've got to figure out what, at the bottom of the deck, what is driving you, what motivates you. Find what motivates you and begin to break free, because that's really literally what it's saying. You can break free when you tap into your strengths, tap into your skills. Utilize those skills. If there's not a job out there that fits the skills you've been doing, create it yourself. You may need to go into business for yourself. You may need to start consulting. Whatever it is, this spirit of this plant medicine spirit is saying you do not have to be a slave, numbed out to these continued abuses, to this ecosystem that doesn't work for you. Create a new one. Go where you are loved, even if it's hard right now to love yourself. I had that Cleo soul song. So that's really what I have for you, group number 1. That is what the spirit of cannabis is sharing with you. That it's very important that you look at the self that's in this ecosystem. I don't know what just happened, but that is very important that you look at the self that's in this ecosystem and create and protect yourself. Protect yourself, not numb yourself out, but protect yourself and move forward with life, because it's showing a great blessing for you in here. But you've got to move away from toxic situations. All right, so if you like the way that I read, I really appreciate you all. If you take a moment to like this video, to comment below if this resonated with you, make sure you put what plant medicine pile you chose. And I look forward to sharing more with you in a different reading. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Take care. Hello, you all. I had started the very beginning of this reading, group number 2, and I was just talking about how hyssop is this powerful ancient herb of protection. I mean, it's quite literally in the Bible. Probably I don't want to misstate this. It might even be in the Quran. I mean, that's how old this particular herb is. And it speaks to, I thought I was just saying, I mean, really, literally a minute in, that there's something about the spirit of this particular herb calling to you around protection, protecting what's important to you, but also feeling like in this new period, this new beginning that you're getting ready to go into, you need to protect yourself. You need to be in the spirit of protecting your new ideas. If you have a new idea that you'll be acting on, or a new project, or a new relationship, there's something here being spoken into about protecting the direction that you're going in, group number 2. So let me explain what happened. Right when I was getting ready to uncover your foundational card, I live by a highway, and there was just this massive pileup that happened. I could hear it from my window, and it was a huge car accident. I couldn't see it, and what I want to say here is that it's important here that I felt like that was a sign that you need to protect yourself, especially from the actions of people who may not be paying attention. That's what I'm hearing. That it's not always that we're not present, but we need to be cognizant of the actions of others around us, because other people around us who aren't present, who are thinking about other things, who are doing other things, could potentially harm us, could potentially harm others. you know, like we can't always be in control of what other people are doing. That's what I'm hearing. And so this is kind of the spirit of Hyssop is saying here with this 45, because you got your feet are two fish. Now, what the story is behind this card is that fish on their own, even when they're in a school, they can go in a lot of different directions. Even though they're going together, they can kind of shape themselves to travel in a lot of different directions. Even if they're going upstream, they can kind of go on the side and do all this kind of stuff. There's different motions that two fish can take. But when you look at your feet, because you see, look, if you look really closely in here, there's feet inside of the fish. And it's for you to know that your feet are designed to walk in a direction together. Your feet are designed to move in unison with each other. And when they don't, right, you could have an accident, right? If you've ever sprung your ankle, or you've broken your leg, or you know, did something to your foot, is because the feet weren't acting in unison. So there's something here about alignment being at the foundation of everything that you do in this new time period. That is what Hyssop is pointing out to you, that you will be protected from the follies of others, maybe even yourself, if you stay in alignment. Let's go to the other oracle cards. You have cacao here, number 5. And 5 is a card of deep change, by the way. It says here below, cacao, you are loved, you are held, and you are already everything that you seek. What's beautiful about cacao, because people have in Latin America, especially I think in Mexico, maybe even in other countries like Peru. I'm not sure of the country, so don't quote me on it. There's cacao ceremonies where this beautiful chocolate herb that gives us chocolate bars, right, is used in ceremonies to put people into alignment. And there's something really beautiful about these ceremonies, because they're spiritual ceremonies. And I'm looking at the owl here as the insight that's being provided on the shoulder of this being. It's like spirit is calling for you, even as the being pours into a cup, and that cup has a moon on it. There's something unknown I'm hearing about your path. And even though you may know all of the elements that are needed, all the ingredients that are needed, or the steps that are needed to take this new path, there's still a part of it that's a mystery. There's still a part of it that is going to be a little bit beyond your control, this new beginning. And Hyssop is saying that you want to ask your spirit guides to put extra eyes on you, put extra protection on you. Invite in your ancestors, your spirit guides, to watch over your steps. There's an old gospel saying, African American saying, that says, you know, it's like a song, I think, and it says, "Order my steps." So there's a way in which there's an order, right, to even creating the cacao. There's an order and steps that you take. And there's something here about hyssop, you know, I mean, gosh, hyssop is coming through as this like real biblical herb, right? This ancient herb. It doesn't have to be biblical. You don't have to believe in Christianity, but I'm saying that it's just dates back that old. And there's a way in which spirit is saying, order my steps. You know, like you can request of spirit to order your steps. Make sure that every step that you're taking, you're being watched over, provided for. So there's something here in that card that's kind of reminding you of that, group number 2. The sirens are here. Wow, I love the sirens. And that is even saying, use your voice, expansion, freedom. This is interesting because I really believe, group number 2, that there's something about you not using your voice to even speak to spirit and your guides, but also using your voice, as your voice may end up being something very powerful in this new beginning for you. Maybe some of you are going to be singing. Maybe some of you are going to be using your voice for spoken word or poetry or writing. There's a way in which you're using your voice, using that throat chakra to bring forward this new beginning, and maybe even asking for spirit to order yourself, order your words, order your steps. We have the sirens in the background coming forward. I thought this card was very, oh wow, look at that. That is so interesting. You got Maktub. And I want to read this for you, group number 2. It says, it's not life that's complicated. It's the struggle to guide and control life. And that's a quote that they began with F. Scott Fitzgerald from This Side of Paradise. But the description says, go with the flow. Look at that. Go with the flow. The fish, again, we're talking about the flow and the alignment. It says, a piece of advice may be difficult to wrap our brains around, especially when things feel particularly challenging. How can we flow with the current of life when we are constantly feeling as if we're treading water, attempting to avoid the riptide, doing whatever we can to stay afloat? How can we establish a greater sense of trust when the ripple of reality feels overwhelming? And so this concept of maktub, which is an Arab, remember I even just said, like I referenced the Quran recently, it's saying that maktub, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, translates to, it is written. Wow, remember we were just talking about using your voice in the written word maybe? It's an idea of predestination or destiny. In other words, God, creator, source, whatever you want to name it, group number 2, has already knows everything that ever was and ever will be. So it's speaking to, wow, this is what I'm hearing from Spirit, group number 2. You have a destiny, a healing destiny, something that you are in the process, step by step, of achieving. And you are working collaboratively, or you're even being invited to by the spirit of Hyssop to work collaboratively with spirit to fulfill your destiny. This is a card of destiny. You are working with, even with the language of spirit. You know, you are working with the moon again, the moon here. You are working in the mysteries of the unknown, but there's a divine order to what you will be beginning, group number 2. And remember, order my steps. This is a divine destined order. Like spirit has already written this out. What's coming to me too, group number 2, is that you may want to check with your Akashic records. Your Akashic records may already have this new beginning already embedded in the cosmic history of your life. So this is beautiful, group number 2. It's saying that you are destined to do what you're about to do. You are being guided by spirit in this new beginning. Let's find out more through the tarot now, in terms of, like, what are you going to be doing? Because I'm excited to know, group number 2. It feels powerful. The energy feels powerful. It's like, you know, what is it, spirit, that group number 2 will be embarking on? Dim bones. Spirit is saying to put this in upright. Wow. Some of you may begin divination if you already haven't. You may start to divine. You may use tarot. You may use some other kind of means of divination. Father of Knives, King of Swords in reverse. You have the Two of Wands in the middle. There's a choice that you have, group number 2, with the way that your life is going. I didn't see this before, but this is what Spirit is saying. Even though you have this destiny, it's a spiritual destiny, Spirit is still saying here that you get to decide. I'm seeing this Two of Wands as a decision. How do you want to live this life? And maybe you've already made some decision. There's a certain kind of destiny here. But I also want to let you know that this King of Swords being in reverse, it's almost as if you're pulling away from logic. You're pulling away from a sense of having to always be in your head linearly thinking about things. You might be coming from Spirit's divine guidance now. Instead of using logic, you're using Spirit's logic, you know what I mean? And there's a choice here. Do you want to continue on the path that you've been on, or do you want to take Spirit's guidance and fulfill your destiny? Because, you know, ultimately, group number 2, we have free will. I mean, you know, Spirit can present you with your destiny and say, this is it. If you want to take this road, Maktub, you know, like it's the road of God. It's the invitation of God, creator, source, however you want to call it. There's that life, which may be in direct contrast with the life that you've been living. Maybe you're a scientist. Maybe you've always been used to looking at the facts, and now you're diving into an area of life that requires your intuition, that requires for you to be in the mystery, in the moon, in ceremony, in ritual, a completely different way of living, a completely different way of looking at life. But this life, shall you take it, will put you in wish fulfillment. Again, we have 9 of Pentacles. It is going to be a blessed path because it's a path that you have been destined to take. It is your divine job, group number 2. And look at that. 6 of Pentacles. It's going to feel as when you say yes to your destiny, group number 2, this is what Hyssop is even bringing forward. It is going to just put you in an energy of constant manifestation. Your needs are going to be taken care of. Maybe some of you have been worried. What if I take this path? It's so different from what I've been doing. My job might guarantee me a certain salary every month, but if I take this path, I'm kind of like, I don't have any guarantees. And Spirit is saying, yes, you will reap the rewards of following your destiny. Daughter of Baskets. This is Page of Cups. This may be in the beginning, this feeling, this new feeling of just surrendering and trusting the universe, trusting your destiny. It may feel slow at first. You're gonna feel like, okay, I'm manifesting, I'm doing what I need to be doing. But it may feel to you slow. It may feel at first like, is this really happening? But Spirit is saying, wow, look at that. 2 of Cups. For me, Spirit is saying that you won't be on this road alone, group number 2. You're going to have a divine counterpart, whether that is just a business partner or a romantic partner who will be working with you. You're not going to have to take this road alone. It did show up as 9 of Pentacles first, which sometimes I will kind of put as a more successful, independent energy. But look what happens. It moves into a 2 of Cups, and you become even more, like you're able to manifest even more. Let's ask the Spirit of Hyssop. What do you need to do? What does group number 2 need to do? What is the next step for group number 2? Because if you accept this destiny, it's yours. Wow. We have 2 of Swords again. But it's in reverse, and Spirit is saying take it in reverse. You are going to know what decision to make. You're going to know what sounds and fits right for you. Look at that. Queen of Pentacles. And as you come out of, you may take some time to think about things, but when you come out of hiding, I'm kind of taking this hermit as hiding your spiritual abilities, because I really feel like you are getting ready to head into a spiritual path of some sort. It could be an occult path, it could be a spiritual path. Whatever it is, it's a little non-conventional, so maybe you've been hiding out. But once you cease hiding out, group number 2, and you will come into that Queen of Pentacles. Like, you'll be able to reap and amass great material wealth from these abilities. Look at that. Allowing yourself in this new beginning to be okay with deep transformative change, the kind of change that death brings. I think too, because I'm seeing the skulls here, this will be assisted by your ancestors. So remember again that invitation to call upon Spirit. Use your voice to call in your ancestors for assistance. They're going to play a divine great role for you. And look again, we keep seeing that 2 of Wands. There's a world out there that's going to open up for you, group number 2. And Hyssop is saying you are going to be blessed in this destiny. If you choose this path, it's blessed for you. Call in your protection, call in your ancestors. Know that you, even though it may feel unfamiliar, there is something about this path that I feel like is ancestral for you. It may even be like a past life. Look at that. Use your strength. Queen of Swords. And know from a very decisive way. This is your life now. Page of Cups again. But this time, you will know the offering of Spirit is right there in that cup. You're looking at it, you're going to, is this the path? This is the path. The Spirit is speaking to you. This is your destiny. Again, we have the Lovers. That 2 of Cups and the Lovers, there's going to be some kind of divine relationship that happens from this. It's the bottom of the deck. It's going to release you from thinking your life had to always be one way. For some of you, this is going to be what seems like an overnight change. Like, you're just going to be like, you know, I'm going to take a chance on myself. I'm going to do this thing. And when you do that, group number 2, wow. That's all I got to say. It's going to help. It's going to bring such manifestations in all areas of your life. Partnership, money, career. This new beginning, Hyssop is saying, ask for divine guidance to order your steps as you take on this new journey. I'm very happy for you, group number 2. This is powerful. So if you like the way that I read, or if you connect with and resonate with this particular group, please comment below, please like the video, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. I really appreciate you. But thank you to group number 2. Hello, group number 3. If you chose this vine of ayahuasca tincture, it's just the vine, it's not the full tea that people would call ayahuasca brew. It's not that, it's just the vine, a tincture made from the vine, so no DMT. this is your reading. There's something here about just the vine. I was reading up on the history of certain indigenous groups just using the vine for a particular kind of ceremony that opens your vision. So that could be interesting for you in the terms of the message that this plant medicine has for you, group number 3. An opening of your vision, something that's coming into vision for you, a new beginning that's centered around what you are sensing or seeing, group number 3. Let's go to your foundational card. Group number 3, it's 13. It says, your delight charms the world. It's like this being is sitting in meditation while there are a lot of other beings with their eyes on this being who they are, delighting the world. The world, some of you, group number 3, are about to embark on popularity. If you're not already popular, you may be becoming more popular in this new phase. And the plant medicine is preparing you. What did I say about the vision? This is deep. Look at all these different eyes here. There's something about an opening that ayahuasca is saying. There's an opening of vision where people are going to be looking at you and how you delight in your world right now. You may be sharing something about how you live. You may be on social media. You may be sharing a story of yours. Whatever it is, group number 3, eyes will be on you in this new beginning. And the plant medicine is preparing for you to... This card is talking too about being okay with who you are and how you walk in this light and life. I said light, but I meant life, so maybe light and life. Being okay with who you are as you are. There's something about being in your authenticity where others can really see you that is going to put a lot of eyes of the world on you, group number 3. Let's go to other oracle cards. Yes, look at this. Another group had this card, but it's a different meaning here. Eyes, emotional, because this eye looks like there's just water coming out of the eye, but I feel like there's going to be this emotional pull that you're going to pull people in emotionally with something that you're doing. I keep hearing that someone is going to tell a story that has been waiting to be told. And when you tell this story, it's just going to compel people to move towards you, group number 3. They're going to put their eyes on you. They want to hear more from you. They want to see more from you. Some of you may be an artist. There may be something artistic that you bring forward that invokes a lot of emotion in people, group number 3. And that is going to put a lot of eyes on you. 13 is a really interesting spiritual number because it's really speaking to the idea of like coming in from the mystery and bringing forth who you are, from the mystery to the visible, making something that was once invisible visible. Again, that whole theme of seeing with the eyes. Coming of darkness. Very interesting. Number 7, it says, all the light is dimming, life is withering at its core. Are you ready? So it's a change of season. This may happen in the fall as things get dark, as the time changes, at least here in North America, in the continent above the equator. It will be fall. Things will start getting darker earlier. The air and the temperature are cooling. How do you prepare for this new phase in your life? And I think again the plant medicine is speaking to a preparation that's needed, a preparation that for this new life. There's going to be, even if you look at these eyes here, they're kind of in the dark, they're in the shadows. There may be a way in which people are watching you, but they're not exactly telling you that they're watching you. You know what I mean? They're kind of watching from the shadows. I don't get that it's a scary thing. I just get that you may not know right away just how many people have their eyes on you, group number 3, just how popular or how emotionally compelling your material is. But you're being directed by this plant spirit to prepare, because when you finally come to a realization of, oh wow, this is what I've been saying is more, or what I've been doing is more popular than I thought. Look at this. The mother of the sea salt waters. It says passion, wild love, open your heart, let love in. One or more of these eyes could be someone who really is interested in you in a more romantic fashion, group number 3. It could also speak to you're finally living your passion. You're allowing other people to see your passion, and in a way that makes you so attractive to people. These eyes could be eyes of attraction too, because they're seeing the real you and they're loving what they see. They're loving with what they connect with. There's, like, again, that I wouldn't underestimate the ability of emotions to compel and pull people towards you. There's something that you're doing that's emotionally, I keep hearing, emotionally compelling, that is going to draw others towards you. Let's go to the tarot here, group number 3. You're also being directed to open your heart, so maybe some of you haven't been in a relationship in a while, and maybe this is going to kind of be a new beginning of a relationship. Let's see what the tarot says. So what else do you have to say, Spirit of the Plant? 7 of Coins in reverse. Death card. King of Swords. This is not going to be, even though it's going to be a change for you, this, whatever's coming forward for you is going to seem like a real, how do I want to say, intense change. I don't necessarily feel like you are going to consider it the same kind of work that you've been doing. This is giving me, you're going to love what you do for once in your life. You're going to love, if it's a work change, you're going to really love what you do. It's not going to feel like work. This change is actually going to usher in a feeling where you feel very settled in yourself. You feel very grounded where you're at. You're able to see clearly. You're able to think clearly. There's a way in which you are moving that it's, even though there's a change happening, it's not uprooting you. It's actually grounding you, group number 3. Yeah, look at that. It's like a temperance comes over you. A feeling of balance comes over you. When you start to really show yourself as an authentic creator, expressing yourself authentically, not that you haven't been before, but there's something you're about to share, like I said, that's maybe more emotionally vulnerable. And when you do this, I think people will say, wow, I didn't know that group number 3 had this story inside of them. I didn't know they experienced this. Or you may share a piece of art. I didn't know they had this kind of talent. It really resonates with me. And as you're kind of pulling forth this power of being able to like call in the emotions of hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people, Spirit is guiding you to just keep your balance. For some of you, you may even want to start working overtime with your ancestors, making offerings, going outside, putting a shrine outside, keeping yourself. There's an element of water here that isn't lost on me. This water is saying that it's keeping things very pure and sacred. And as you do that, as you express in this way, yeah, look at that, the Hermit. There may be, because I'm looking at this card too, that call to prepare. It may be that in order to keep that balance, you are not always in the public eye. You're going within. You're tending to yourself. You're tending to your self-care. There's a way in which to keep that balance. It's not all work. Some of it is going to be about being in the hermit mode from time to time. Look at that. Queen of Swords. So look at that. There's a King of Swords and a Queen of Swords. So this potentially could be group number 3, a counterpart that you are going to connect with, because I see two energies here that are masters of the sword, masters of maintaining equilibrium, being very logical, very factual, but also having their emotions under control. They're not leading by their emotions, even though there is something that's emotionally evoking that they're doing. They're staying in balance. They're staying in this relationship could even point to a relationship of balance, a relationship that keeps you prepped and prepared for the new journey that you're on. I keep getting called to this card because I really see that this is a relationship that's happening here, one in which the two energies are working together regardless of their gender. They're working together. There's preparation that's happening. There's a certain kind of support that you'll be receiving, group number 3. If you're not in a relationship already, there you may meet someone who's going to match that energy for you and support you in the work that you're doing. If you're already in a relationship, that partner may show up even more to support you in this new journey that you're getting ready to take, because there's something here about having all these eyes on you. It's going to be a change. It's going to be a change that you're going to have to get used to. You may need someone by your side who is kind of helping you manage that life. Let me choose one more card here. Yeah, look at that, 2 of Pentacles. There's a sense of you having to have a careful balance between work and this social aspect of this work. Like, say if you're a musician and all of a sudden you come out with a new song and it's really popular, people are like wanting you to perform it, you know, there's a lot of social aspects to you becoming popular, right? But there's also this sense of like really needing to have a counter action to that, to keep you prepared, to keep you grounded. That's what that's speaking to me. Like, Spirit is guiding you to say this is not your entire life, group number 3. Although there's going to be a lot of eyes on you, you're going to want your life to be a little bit more grounded. You don't want to give people just 100% access to who you are. Spirit, what other guidance do you have for group number 3? Oh, look at that, High Priestess. Trust your intuition. That's going to be very important right now. Knight of Pentacles. The money, it's like the material, the money, it's all going to come in. I think you intuitively know this, group number 3. there may be a period where you're kind of waiting for things to take shape, to, you may be putting some things in alignment so that you can make money from your popularity. But Spirit is guiding you too to use your intuition on how to do this so that you are keeping balanced in your life. I keep wanting to bring forward this card. It's going to be that temperance is saying keep the balance. Don't engage in so many money-making ideas that you become overwhelmed. Use your intuition to figure out what is going to bring you and allow you to stay in balance with yourself, with your life. Yeah, that is for sure going to bring in the kind of victory. You got the Six of Wands. It's going to bring in that victory that you've been wanting, the kind of life you've always wanted to live. Because I think you don't want to go from working full-time, not being able to work on your craft, to having your craft be the source of your income, but still you're working at that same breakneck speed. There's something there about Spirit directing you, plant medicine directing you to create the life you want with this newfound popularity. Yeah. Otherwise you'll end up three of swords here, but it's in reverse. Otherwise you're going to end up losing your heart for this work. Having this work you lose your love and your passion for it if it just becomes another means to an end. Yeah, and if you honor that, the Wheel of Fortune is up right here for you. That's saying that Spirit is guiding you to say you can make and create the kind of schedule you want, the kind of life you want with this new beginning. You do not have to follow old patterns of grind to get done what needs to get done. You will celebrate with others. It is going to be a social life, but again, at the bottom of the deck, there's that temperance again. You're being reminded, keep it all in perspective. We had that card, right? Or not, that's perception, but keep it all in perspective of balance. There will be a temptation if you all are in some kind of like scene where it could be like clubbing every night or performing every night. Spirit is saying in the beginning, reel it in for yourself. You have the pinnacles here. There's not going to be lack. You just need to take care of yourself, because you are most definitely going to be in the sun. Look at that. So congratulations, group number 3. I think the plant medicine is just saying prepare, hold on tight. You're getting ready to be very popular with something that you're doing, and to maintain temperance. Utilize the support that's around you, whether that's of your partner or a good friend or family member. Utilize that support so that you get to enjoy the fruits of your creations. Okay, group number 3, if you resonated with this, please comment below. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I would love to hear from you on what plant medicine supported your new beginning in this new moon. Take care, group number 3. Peace. Hello, group number 4. You chose this mushroom crystal. So the spirits of the mushroom have a message for you in this new beginning of the new moon period. No, it's a timeless reading, so if you have a new moon that's coming up outside of when this is recorded, it's still for you. So let's go to the foundational message. You've got 43, the wounded harpy eagle. You know what this card speaks to, group number 4, is that even when the eagle is known to be like probably the most regal of birds in the sky, it has a very wide wingspan, it sees from very high perspectives, and the eagle is known to be a warrior. Many societies use the eagle as a symbolism for strength. But there are times, even when the eagle is wounded, even when the eagle needs to come down from the sky to rest, to gain perspective. And there's something here about that 43 comes to the number 7. 7 being a spiritual journey. Like, even you in your strength, maybe even in your leadership, you're coming to a point now where it's time to grow again. It's time to maybe even address some wounds that you may have from the past, or more recent wounds. And it's time for you to like look at being more vulnerable in your position, or the vulnerability that you're experiencing right now, giving yourself time and space in this. You're being guided by the mushrooms to take time and space to reflect on those things that you may need to heal in this new period that you're coming into. Let's look at the other oracle cards. Wow, you have the Philosopher's Stone. And so the Philosopher's Stone, that is even speaking to, you know, the alchemy, changes that are coming forward. It's about how do we put materials together? How do we utilize the wisdom of not knowing how everything is going to turn out? There's a way in which, when we're leaders, group number 4, we're expected to know things. We're expected to think 10 steps ahead of everything. But you're being told right now that this may not be the skill that you're utilizing in this new period that's coming forward. You are being asked to be more in the energy of the Fool, and know that something alchemical is taking place that's changing you at the DNA level. As you begin to heal, there's an alchemical change that's happening in your life. It is going to change you for the better, this healing process. Maybe some of you are getting ready to do some shadow work. Something, I keep feeling for many of you, it's something from the past that just needs your attention, your focus. It's bringing you down from the sky to pay attention to this final detail for some of you. Yeah, look at that. Into the unknown. Again, this idea of being in the Fool carries over into the unknown, the underworld, the depth, the courage that it takes, facing your fears. There's something coming up where you would think, many people maybe in your life think that you have no fears, that you've done so much with your life, that you're this brilliant leader, but there's something bringing you, I keep seeing you coming down from the sky to nest, to be in your energy, to be in your depths, to dive deeper into your process. There's a huge healing that's getting ready to take place for you, group number 4, and the mushrooms are here to be your companion. They emerge from the dark depths, the moisture of the earth. So there's something here that's speaking to the energy of a deep transformative journey coming up for you. And we have Straw Bell. It says, it's time to step out of your comfort zone, take up space, reach new heights. Very interesting. It's saying reach new heights. With this healing process, group number 4, you are going to have to be okay with not knowing what's coming next, not being told or being in control. There's something here about Spirit saying you're quite literally not going to be in control of this next healing process. This is going to emerge from the darkness, from the unknown, and you are being told that there's just an alchemical process that's going to happen, and you need to trust it. Maybe some of you are getting ready to go on some kind of journey that is quite literally you don't know what's going to happen. And this Straw Bell is saying that if you allow yourself to just be in that full energy, not know what's going to take place, you will emerge being able to soar even higher. Your leadership abilities are going to take brand new shape. You're gonna morph into this brand new leader, and people are gonna be like, wow, I didn't even think group number 4 could get better at what they're doing, and here they are. There is wisdom in tending to your needs coming down and coming down to earth and checking in on yourself, being curious about your process. Where do I need to go next? Where do I need to, what do I need to learn? What are my edges right now that I need to address in terms of my own healing? So there's going to be time for you all to do this. Maybe some of you are going to, I'm hearing a meditation retreat. You might be taking some concentrated time away, group number 4, or invited to do that. Let's go to the tarot. It's just called to shuffle one more time. Group number 4. What guidance do you have for group number 4? Ace of Wands in reverse. 4 of Swords upright. Seven of Knives. I think acting too quickly, staying in the same energy of just doing and doing and doing and not taking time out for yourself to really be more curious about your process, it could cheat you out of a very beautiful experience. That's what I'm hearing from the spirit of this mushroom, is that don't cheat yourself out of growth because you just want to stay doing the same things that you've been doing, or feeling like there's no way that you can take time away. You know, I think too that you have the courting card in reverse. There could even be something around just learning how to be okay with taking a break from your relationships to focus on yourself. Look at that. We've got the Ace of Swords. So Spirit is saying that's true. It's like some of you may even need to get out of the patterns that you've been in your most close relationships and allow yourself to take a break. Say, listen, hun, as much as I love you, I need to go and work on myself. I need to take this time away to get my mind together, to heal my heart. It has nothing to, could have nothing to do with your relationships. It could have everything to do with your relationships. Take it as it resonates. But Spirit is saying to even take time away from a certain relationship that kind of pulls you in all the time. And in doing that, it could create some major changes in your relationship. Maybe some of you need to divest from codependency. Maybe this is a time where you're saying, you know what, I need to figure out where I begin and end and where you begin and end. And so for some of you, this could be about a relationship that feels a little emotionally entangled, and this Tower is coming in and saying, yes, it will change this relationship, allowing yourself to go within and say, hey, what works for me in this relationship and what doesn't work for me in this relationship. You getting clear on that before you go to your partner with changes, right? It will require some hard work. Sometimes we think hard work is more about the labor, physical labor, but mental, spiritual, there's labor involved in even a meditation retreat where you're being required to sit still and be very present with yourself. That's a certain kind of labor that will be involved too. And sometimes people will go to a meditation retreat and think, oh, I'm going to take a little vacation. It's not a vacation, it's actual work to be very present with yourself, maybe for hours within a day. You're practicing. I think you're feeling now that maybe for some of you, this process, this journey, this experience you're getting ready to have happen, it's gonna bring you, it's gonna address some of maybe your insecurities, feeling like you're not as connected as you want to be in your community or in your relationships, feeling like you're on the outside. It's gonna solve a lot of those insecurities. It's going to bring you back to yourself. This is what I'm seeing. There's something here about this Nine of Cups. Understanding that all the things that you desire in life, because it kind of came out sort of reverse, looking at what is it that you really want out of life. What is it that you feel like you need? Is it money? Is it education? Is it material wealth? Like, what is it? What do you want? Even for some of you, if it is a focus on relationships, what do I want? What would be my wish fulfillment? Sometimes you can't think while you're in it. This is why Spirit is saying it would be a good time to address in more detail what it is you do want by stepping out temporarily and attending to your needs. Yeah. You're being told to gain more perspective. This original card shows the eagle coming down to the ground. This card shows that the being is looking out over the horizon, gaining some perspective on the terrain of the land. There's that Five of Pentacles again. Something about you feeling on the outside of things. I kind of get, for some of you, if this is about a relationship, feeling like there's some kind of insecurity in that relationship that makes you feel like you're on the outside of things. And this is a time period that Spirit says, in this transformation you're going through, for you to become more confident in who you are in this relationship. Judgment is in reverse. Because I really do feel like you need to get in touch with your divine inner wisdom. When you get in touch with that divine inner wisdom, you're going to see and feel the clarity, group number 4. Yeah, you're going to stop juggling life. I'm even getting finances. Some of this could be financial for some of you, like feeling as if you're in a struggle somehow and you need to know what's the best move to make. If that's the case, this time away, this ability to reconvene with yourself, it's going to be very helpful. Yeah, the world is here and it's upright. You're going to complete a cycle. And this cycle is going to tell you how to move out of patterns that are no longer serve you, group number 4. Last card. Yeah, you will be making choices not from a place of just randomness. You are really going to come to clarity by having this time away, just to tend to yourself, to get really present with what you desire and what you need. Again, at the bottom of the deck is the Fool. You're just being told to let go of control and let the journey guide you. Let Spirit even guide you. The Creator, Source, let it guide you. Be open to new and different perspectives on what it is that you have to do and where this new journey is taking you, group number 4. So that is what I have, group number 4. It sounds like you're getting ready to embark on an alchemical change, a process, a journey. But you're going to have to be in that full energy and allow yourself to just experience what new information is coming towards you, what new clarity is coming towards you. And it's going to put you in an upright world situation. You're going to close out a cycle. And you're going to heal yourself and you rise to even higher heights in your leadership. If you resonate with this or you like the way that I read, I really would appreciate you liking this video, maybe putting a comment below that you listen to the wisdom of the mushroom crystal. And I want to thank you again for watching my readings, for joining this channel. I appreciate you all. Take care, group number 4.